we just relay some facts,
whether they're new or antique.
So just sit back and relax.
It's time for What's Up This Week.
Hello, and welcome to What's Up This Week, your weekly dose of history, facts, and trivia from University Branch Library. This week, we're looking at the debut of the first popular American superhero. Created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, Superman premiered in the first issue of Action Comics, which went on sale May 3rd, 1938. Siegel and Shuster met in 1932 while attending Glenville High School in Cleveland and bonded over their admiration of fiction. Siegel was an aspiring writer, and Shuster wished to become an illustrator. In 1933, Siegel published a short story in his science fiction fanzine titled The Reign of the Superman, about a vagrant who is tricked into consuming an experimental drug. The drug gives him the powers of mind reading, mind control, and clairvoyance. He uses these powers maliciously for profit and amusement, but then the drug wears off, leaving him a powerless vagrant again. Shuster provided the illustrations. They continued to team up and, hoping to author a newspaper comic strip, showed their ideas to various editors, but were rejected time and time again. One common thread of advice was that they needed to make their stories more sensational. This caused them to revisit their Superman character and retool him as a hero with marvelous powers rather than a villain. In 1935, Siegel and Shuster began working at National Allied Publications, the company that would later become DC Comics. There, they created characters like Dr. Occult, a paranormal investigator, and Slam Bradley, a fist-fighting vigilante. But they still tried to sell Superman as a newspaper strip. While that venture continued to prove unfruitful, National Allied wanted more of their work as they were planning to launch a new title, Action Comics. Siegel and Shuster agreed to publish Superman in that title. With Superman as its main feature, the new magazine proved incredibly popular and a sensation was born. Superman would quickly be adapted to radio, animated theatrical shorts, and finally, the Superman newspaper strip would become a reality. To date, Superman has appeared in thousands of comics and multiple TV series, movies, and video games. If you'd like to learn more about the creation of the Man of Steel, or experience some of his adventures, the library has a variety of materials available. That's it for me. What do you have for us this week, James?
Thank you, Daniel, and hi everyone. This week marks the quasi-birthday of New Orleans, Louisiana. I say quasi because the city was founded on or around May 7th, 1718, though the exact date of establishment is uncertain. Jean-Baptiste Le Moyne de Bienville is considered the city's founder and the father of New Orleans, but it should be noted the land already had Native American residents there, specifically the Chitimacha. Anyhow, Bienville was the governor of the French colony of Louisiana. The city's name came from Philippe, Duke of Orleans, who ruled France on behalf of the young King Louis XV. Since its inception, New Orleans has undergone a very intricate history. First, its state was ruled by the French. Then, in the 1760s, France ceded Louisiana to Spain. That country's dominance lasted for decades until the state reverted back to the French in the early 1800s. The United States acquired Louisiana from France with the Louisiana Purchase in 1803. The new situation didn't go undisturbed, but following the Civil War, the state of Louisiana became part of the United States of America and remains so. Instead of counties, New Orleans is divided into parishes. The citizens in the metropolitan area reside in 8 parishes: Jefferson, Orleans, Plaquemines, St. Bernard, St. Charles, St. James, St. John the Baptiste, and St. Tammany. One of the nicknames for the town is Crescent City because its French Quarter sits along a massive curve in the Mississippi River. The main section of New Orleans is between the river on the south and Lake Pontchartrain on the north. The city also has an effervescent culture. Aside from its historic museums, Mardi Gras, and various events throughout the year, there's a fantastic jazz scene that really permeates the town, partly because it is where the music genre was born in the early 1900s. Musicians shaped its creation in the bars and nightclubs on the streets both inside and outside the famous French Quarter. A few pioneering, notable jazz musicians from that early era are U.B. Blake, Scott Joplin, and Louis Armstrong. The celebrated venue, Preservation Hall, is the current spot to catch their successors in lively action. The city's history is as extensive as it is complicated. Like the great towns of the world, you can see and learn so much about it and still have a ton to go. But it's the citizens of New Orleans that bring it to bursting life, giving it distinction and ensuring its continuance. All right, Megan, what weird thing do you have for the people this week?
All aboard! Next stop, Weird Thingsburg. Hello. This week's weird thing is that May 8th is National Train Day. Every year on the Saturday closest to May 10th, we celebrate trains and their history in the United States. On Saturday, May 10th, 1869, America's first transcontinental railroad was completed when the final spike, made of 17.6 karat gold, was driven into place, linking the Central Pacific and the Union Pacific rail lines. The golden spike was later replaced with a regular spike, and that golden spike is now on display at Stanford University. This completed railroad connected the eastern network of rails to the West Coast, from Council Bluffs, Iowa to San Francisco, California. It was an important milestone in American history, and it revolutionized travel and commerce. But let's back it up a bit and talk about the history of railroads. The first known rail system, located near Somerset, England, dates all the way back to 3838 BCE. There is speculation that this ancient wooden trackway led to spiritually significant places. Other ancient rail systems have been found in Greece and China. In the beginning, railways were man and animal powered. Soon, wooden rails were traded out for rails made of metal, which were obviously more durable. The first steam engine locomotive was built in 1802, and steam power dominated the railways for over a century. The first ever electric train was built in Aberdeen, Scotland in 1837, but electric trains didn't become mainstream until the early 1900s. Diesel engines soon followed, and nowadays, high-speed trains are becoming the norm for long-distance rail travel. Other innovations in train travel include a hydrogen-powered train in Germany put into service in 2018, and maglev, a train system that uses magnetic levitation. Maglev trains have been around for decades, but are expensive to construct, which is why we don't have a lot of them. To celebrate National Train Day, you can visit our local Rosenberg Railroad Museum to learn more about the history of trains. Or you can check out any of these books from our libraries. We've also got some DVDs that let you experience train travel from the comfort of your home. Happy National Train Day! Be sure to join us again next week for more facts and trivia from University Branch Library.